It was a beautiful autumn day on the island of Sodor. All the engines over to the station choke. The Fat Controller came to Tidmouth Sheds. He had exciting news. Gordon is to get detention for ficking the new mayor of Sodor. Gordon wasn't impressed, but then he had a thought. Who will take the express, sir? He asked. The other engines were excited. Pulling the express was an important job. Everyone wanted to be chosen, but the Fat Controller chose Smudger. Emily puffed into Knapford Station. She was looking forward to taking the
Flying Kipper.
I didn't know the Flying Kipper was suddenly the express train now.
What happened then, no one knows. Perhaps they forgot to couple Emily to the train. Perhaps Emily was too impatient to wait till they were ready. Anyhow, Emily started. People shouted and waved at him, but he didn't stop. They're waving because I'm such a splendid engine, he thought importantly. Henry says it's hard to pull trains, but I think it's easy. Hurry, 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 he puffed, pretending to be like Gordon. As he passed the first signal box, he saw the men leaning out, waving and shouting. They're pleased to see me, he thought. They've never seen me pulling a train before. It's nice of them to wave. And he whistled, peep, peep, thank you, and hurried on. But he came to a signal at danger. Bother, said Emily crossly. I must stop, and I was going so nicely too. What a nuisance signals are. And she blew her whistle as loud as she could. Thomas arrived bringing more supplies. Hello, Thomas tooted. What are you doing here? I'm pulling a train. Can't you see? Where are your coaches then? Emily looked back. Why, bless me, he said, if we haven't left them behind. Yes, you'd better go back quickly and fetch them. Poor Emily was so sad he nearly cried.
Later.
But it was very, very heavy. Busman, Buffett, she gasped as she slowly pulled out of the station, but she pulled away too soon and left the brake coach behind. The guard waved his red flag to stop, and Millie Butcher was well on her way steaming out of the station. Emily crossed the island once in good time. I am as good as Gordon, she puffed proudly. Emily had to wait for Edward at the crossing. Edward went as fast as he could, but it wasn't fast enough for Emily. Emily stopped in Maithwaite Station. The express was a guaranteed connection with Bertie the bus, but Bertie hadn't arrived. He'd had a flat tyre and was running late. Emily tried to wait. She counted to 10 times, but she felt as if her boiler would burst. I'm going to be the slowest engine on Sodor, she cried, and it's not my fault. And she puffed away. When Bertie arrived, Emily wanted to go first. It doesn't matter if you are late, she said. You must wait your turn, said James crossly. Express trains don't wait, said Emily. And she left without taking on water. Emily went faster than ever. Her carriages rocked and rolled, and her passengers were biffed and bumped and bounced. Finally, Emily could see Brendam Docks up ahead. twice before tea time, she puffed happily. I am as good as Gordon. Then there was trouble. Emily slowed down. What's happening to me? She cried. She went slower and slower. Emily had run out of water. She huffed and puffed, but she had no steam left. Finally, Emily came to a complete stop. The Fat Controller arrived on board James's ghost. He was very cross. You should have waited, said the Fat Controller, and now you have caused confusion and delay. You left the brake coach, stranded Bertie's passengers, and bumped your carriages. You must learn to be more patient.
Fuck you!
Thomas and Emily have important jobs to do. Thomas needs to take some coal to Brendam Docks, and Emily has to go to Tidmouth Sheds. For some reason. Emily is puffing to Tidmouth Sheds, but a tree has fallen across the line. Oh, help! Go away! But of course the tree couldn't. Emily has to go back. Thomas is puffing to Brendam Docks, but the track is closed for repair.
I'm sure the works on the tracks won't stop me.
So Thomas puffed faster and faster. Then there was trouble. Workers were mending the broken track. The broken track was very bumpy. Thomas bumped and jumped. The books jiggled and joggled.
Whoa! Cinders and ashes!
Then Thomas hit the biggest bump of all.
Oh my! The trucks are broken! The storybooks are all over the field! And the children now won't have their special story time! And it's all my fault.
Thomas has to go back. Thomas and Emily have to use the same track, but they meet in the middle. What can Thomas and Emily do? Thomas, Fox, Emily...
I'm coming.
Emily can get to Tidmouth Sheds. That's not Tidmouth Sheds. And Thomas can get to Brendam Docks.
Who's calling me?
Brendam Docks. Sharing the track was a good idea. Well done, Thomas. And well done, Emily.